What I think's changed since I did this last year? Sadly, nothing much for the better in real terms about how numbers of homelessness, they've gone up, and funding to providers like LifeWise seems to have been stagnant. However, there does seem to be more public discourse around the issue of homelessness. So you've got is it Photo Man on K Road who did his own sort of self-motivated campaign. It's more in the public sphere, and I think that's a big part of what this is trying to achieve. So that's a positive thing to focus on.
How important do you think statistics are when you're thinking about an issue that is so traumatizing for individuals?
I think it depends who you're it depends who you're talking to. Like, statistics are great if you're talking to people with purse strings, and they're great to people who potentially put a lot of value in, academic research in order to substantiate an argument. But like tonight we had a presentation from a young girl who I'd guess her age early 20s, late teens at best, and talked about her traumatic history of sexual abuse and psychological damage that occurred from that and how that played out in her life, and that's why she became homeless. And I think that's sort of really personal, like I was choked up. That really sort of, that sort of personal story potentially is more powerful if it's presented and chopped up in a way that's digestible for mainstream people. Because I think, unfortunately, we still have this mainstream, alongside, the increasing discourse around homelessness, there's still a big part of the society who are like, no one needs to be homeless in New Zealand, we've got a welfare state. But that's not true, there's not enough housing for people, there's not enough affordable housing for people. If you've come from a traumatic background, you've been incarcerated from a young age or removed from mainstream society, you don't have the skills to balance a budget and pay the rent on time and ring up, property agents who come from a different social strata to you. You don't know how to interact with bank managers. You don't know how to do any number of skills that are required to get along in mainstream society. I mean, I struggle with all of that stuff, Life is really hard. And if you come from an unstable background, it's that much harder. And I don't think we have that conversation enough in the public.